Welcome to the Financial Wisdom with Milan. This is the actually board that I use when my clients come in. Usually they get surprised when I put a little thing there, just welcoming them by their first name and letting them come in. But the reason actually this channel started originally, and the whole premise of it, is basically to help everyday people build a long-term security, net worth, and basically to have a control of their finances by themselves, for themselves. So with clarity, discipline, and financial wisdom, we can certainly achieve that. And basically, if you want real opinions and real life stories that have happened here in this office for many years and in a previous office I had over the last 30 years, you're in the right place. We're going to cut the noise, cut the confusion, and we're going to get right to the point. I'll start here, actually. I might even finish here. It just feels comfortable. I cannot tell you how many times my clients actually fell asleep here. Just like when my wife originally got this idea, which was from her gynecologist. So when she got home, she says, honey, you wouldn't believe how many people fell asleep in my gynecologist's office while I was waiting to be examined. I'm like, really? I said, why? And then she told me, I was like, oh, that is a cool idea. And that's why I got the waterfall you can probably hear in the background and you see in the back shots. But generally speaking, when the clients come in, we usually sit them out here, trying to make them comfortable. And if somebody's in the office, obviously, I'm trying to wrap that up. If they're a little bit early, they can sit here, relax. And a lot of times they may read some of the books here that I have, or just fall asleep, actually, simple as that. So other than that, we're just trying to make people have a good experience coming in when they do come in. So I want to say to all of them who have been here and all the ones hopefully who will come through here, thank you. I really appreciate you trusting me. So the premise actually of Financial Wisdom with Milan is basically to share the things that have happened over my 30-year career. And I can say that officially because it's March of 2026. And the things that have actually happened, they're real. And before actually I start filming today, I was trying to write a little script, how to say it's recommended to have like your thoughts in order in a way. And I was like, sometimes for me, that's such a BS because I don't know, maybe I'm because I'm dyslexic and I see things a little bit differently. But honestly, I thought about something really long and hard actually on the way to work, because it takes me about half an hour to drive from home to work here and about half an hour back, depending on the traffic. But I thought about something and it just hit me, I'm trying to sound like a smart ass. I'm trying to tell people what to do with their money. There is no one way, folks. It really isn't. Anybody tells you otherwise is lying through their, no. There's more than one way to skin the cat. There's more way to make a fortune so you can be an entrepreneur. I have a school teachers who are millionaires. I have ladies, women especially, a few of them, who actually worked in office as assistants, as consulting roles, or nobody ever saw them for actually what they are, which is they're freaking brilliant and they're much better savers and investors than we are, I'm talking about. There really is not a single one way. What's interesting to note is that I can honestly say this after all these years. I believe, and without any ego here, I think I honestly have learned more from my clients than they have from me. I'll say it again. I really feel that. I really feel like I learned a lot. And the reason for that is a lot of advisors are going to try to come out smart and say things, that make complicated sentences and make sense and all. I'm like, as in my Italian friends and clients will say, not interested. I want to break down things so it's very simple. It's very straightforward in a way that people can actually understand. And when I see actually some of the statements when they're coming in, because like any advisor, I insist on people coming to bring this stuff with them so we can actually see exactly what we're comparing, what we're looking at, right? It makes sense, right? The first thing I always do, and I'm truly impressed, and I cannot tell you how many times people look at me kind of like this, first of all, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I will say, especially Miss Smith, you have done an incredible job saving money and putting it aside. She's like, excuse me? Well, I'd like to tell you again that you've done an incredible job of doing what you did over the last 30 years, 20 years, 40 years, however long it's been. And I'm like, has anybody ever told you that? No, nobody's ever told me that. They usually tell me. I'm like, oh my God. The credit goes to you, not to me. That's simple and straightforward as it can be from the heart. The credit goes to you because you understood something years ago that a lot of people did not, which is, as we said, and we're going to go over and over again, and I'll say this because it's one of my favorite books, like it says, Mr. Clonson said this years ago, 10% of all you earn is yours to keep. And that could be from a gross amount or net amount, whichever you're comfortable with. But you should never put less than 10% of your earnings each month or every couple of weeks, whenever you get paid. But I'm just for the sake of argument, let's say it's monthly. And I'm just saying that. So let's say it's $5,000 a month. I'm just saying. So it's $6,000 income a year, right? Well, if you can put out at least $500, that's the secret. There's not the secret. $500 a month aside, either in your 401k, perhaps even split it, which is also my suggestion is, because if you can have a Roth 401k or Roth IRA because of your income, you still qualify to have one. It's better to do so in one of those plans versus a traditional 401ks or a traditional IRAs. So if you can do it in a Roth, even better. Why? Well, it's tax friendly on the way out. Makes sense, right? So maybe you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, and you're still not needing those funds, so to speak, but you have paid taxes on them. Wouldn't it make more sense to put them in a vehicle that's going to grow? Let's think positively. And more importantly, when you make money as you invest, and financial wisdom says on this channel, as I said over and over again, is that when you take the money out, if you can pay less taxes, you're ahead of the 99% of the population. So that makes a lot more sense. But when I tell people when they come in, going back to, sorry, kind of digress, so to speak, when they come in, is that it really, all of the credit goes to them. And I cannot say that strongly enough. Not because I'm somebody who notices something, but sometimes people don't see things they're doing right and they're not given a credit for. But I'm here to tell you as a professional, congratulations. You're freaking ahead of a lot of people, okay? Saving is not a disease, it's a cure. I said it, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm sure somebody else said, I'm not the first person probably saying that. It's basically, it's a cure to a lot of lean purses, a lot of lean wallets. It has to start with you. When we associate what we call having money, everybody wants money. I'm not different, okay? But when we associate something like, I want this, I want that, we live in a consumer-oriented world these days. I mean, I don't know why that is. Maybe it has to do with the media. Maybe it has to do with the media poisoning our way of thinking, I think, sometimes. We're paying attention to things that are not relevant. To me, it's relevant to tell you what I feel guilty about. My mom passed away this past December. The last time I saw her before that, it was 2-3 weeks before I was getting my teeth fixed. You have a story, I'm going to talk about that on my other channel. But basically, I was focused on myself and my family, not thinking about maybe I should go and visit my mom. So I haven't seen her in 2 years prior to last October. How I feel about that now? Very stupid. Could I have gone earlier? Damn right I could have. Did I go earlier? No, I didn't. That's what I feel guilty about. How's that? Now I'm trying to focus a little bit more on telling people that I love them more often. People that I don't like, to tell them to please lose my number. And basically focus on the good things in life. What do you want to do? Who do you want to spend time with? And when do you want to spend the time with? All those things come important. Why the financial wisdom, it's important. The same thing with investing. Who are you putting the money aside for? Who do you invest it for? It's for you, I hope. That's the goal of this exercise. This is the whole premise of this channel. To create the financial wisdom in your mind to say that actually saving is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So what I mean by that? But if you save for yourself, by yourself, you're ahead of the population in a way of thinking, number one. And number two, you're going to be on the side of the angels, as they say. What I mean by that? Well, simply by putting money aside and having some really simple investments that don't have to be very complicated, whether it's work through your 401k, and if you're lucky, the company will match what you're putting in up to a certain percentage, maybe 4, 5, 6, 8%, whatever. Some companies match more than the others. Be aware of that. Try to have a match as much as you can. So put money aside in your 401k or Roth 401k, in your pension plans. Please do so. Same with the traditional IRA or a Roth IRAs. You must do so. Because remember, we think the cure of all lean purses in the future when we do retire is going to be Social Security. Can I say what I'm thinking about that? Snap out of it. Ain't gonna happen, okay? That is not going to happen. What I mean by that is, like, think of it this way. If you put money aside now and money is invested now, do you honestly think that's not gonna make a difference down the road? How? It's just a simple math. Folks, you know as well as me, you can go to any country in this world, in our beautiful world of ours, you can go to any country and you can put things on a board in a mat, 1 + 1, and you can pass the crayon to the person, or a 5-year-old kid, they'll tell you equals 2. It's simple as that. But imagine doing this, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, it adds up. Do you understand? Please tell me in the comments. And again, I'm not trying to be too smart or too gimmicky or anything like that, but what I found out, actually, the people who have been truly self-disciplined, that's the key word, about contributing to themselves, for themselves, made all the difference. Do I have a client whose kids don't even know what they have? You bet your ass. And more than one? Oh, you bet your ass times 2, of course. Why? Because you can help your children grow up and be responsible, growing adults and participating in society in any which way, productive, working, and doing all of those things. But it doesn't really matter. Why? Because they're going to be their own person. They have a vision of the world that's something slightly different from yours, I can tell you that. If you have 3 kids, I can guarantee you, I can honestly say that all 3 of them are going to be different. Please don't tell me your kids are special. I did a little video on that earlier. If you remember, one of the first ones I did, your kids are not special. My kid is not special. What I'm saying is like, we're all special, okay? What I'm trying to say is like, let them be. Let them figure things out sometime on their own. And yes, there will be trips, they will fall down, maybe even hit the face or break a bone or two or nose. It's okay. It's all part of growing up. Do you remember when you were young? Think about it for a second. I'll give you a few seconds. Think about that. Did you have all the answers? I didn't. I'm sure you didn't either. Did your mom and dad, if you had a mom and dad, if you're lucky enough to have a mom and dad, did they think you were the incredible sight that can walk on water and split the sea and all of those things? I don't think so. Let me give you a hint. My mom, I think I said in one of the videos before, my mom's nickname for me when I was growing up, because I was a pain in the ass kid, you know what my nickname was for my mom? She used to call me Antichrist. Yeah, my own mother, that I love more than anything in the world. But guess what? The woman was not wrong. I was a total pain in the neck. I really was growing up. But that being said, she still loved me unconditionally. My dad loved me unconditionally. My sister loved me unconditionally. It makes a difference when you have a love in the home, when you have actually supporting system at home. It doesn't matter how much they made, because I told you before, my mom was assistant manager, my dad was a freaking truck driver, okay? In Serbia, back in former Yugoslavia. And I had the greatest freaking childhood. I wish all the kids can have a childhood that I had, honestly. As crazy as it sounds, as crazy as it was different. There was no, what would you call it, cell phones, there was no social media. We used to live in an apartment, and still actually my sister lives on the 7th floor of an apartment building in Belgrade. And mom would come and yell downstairs, you know, hey, Misha, that was my nickname, Misha, dinner is ready. Yeah. And we were like, okay, I'll be soon, come up there. Of course, it would come up all dirty, because we were playing football. You guys call it soccer, but we call it football because it's the right name to call it. But we will come up, you know, and just share the stories. You know, if it was a weekend, we'll be out there all day playing. I don't care if it was cold, rainy, sunny. We didn't care. We just wanted to be together as friends. And as I grew up a little bit older, as a teenager, you will be like, hey, there's a phone call for you. So I get on the phone, and the first thing I pick up, I know it's my girlfriend. I'll be like, Mom, can you get off the other phone, please? You know what I'm talking about. So that's how it was in the 70s and 80s. It was normal, okay? But people talked, people communicated, made a difference. There was no social media posts on how many likes one has, how many dislikes. Who gives a, you know what, who cares, okay? Focus on you and focus on the people who make you feel good and care about you. I cannot stress how important that is in your everyday life, and especially going forward. Am I asking you to tell everybody that you start saving now? Let's say you never saved before. Am I asking you to tell everybody what you want to do and how you want to do it in your retirement? No, I'm not asking you to do that. Do it quietly. It's your business, not mine or anybody else's. If you as a young person are watching this, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. It takes balls to start thinking differently, to process things differently. So if you have a job, I don't care what it is, I don't care how much you get paid, it's your business, not mine. All I'm saying is put a 10% aside every month. So as we said before, let's say it's at $500. Well, after 12 months, guess what? Now you have a $6,000. And even if you chose some of the crappiest mutual funds, chances are in the current market conditions, even the war that's going on and around right now, market's going to do just fine. Even if you average anywhere between 5 to 7%, let it be. Choose the right funds. We'll talk about in the future videos which funds to choose and all of that. But it's really not that complicated. All I'm asking you to do is put the money aside from your earnings that you made with your own 2 hands and with your mind. I don't care what that is these days. And people will say, well, you know, I can make money several different ways. Good, congratulations. Welcome to adult world. I congratulate you. I mean that sincerely. That's a good thing. All I'm suggesting is to be financially wise, you must put money aside for yourself now, not later. And another thing, it's obviously the key word, if you can't do more than 10%, even if it's 11%, 1%, folks, I'm telling you, it's going to make a huge difference. Not now, clearly, but 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. I'm telling you, imagine if you can do 12%. That is, I cannot stress how you're gonna have literally a few $100,000 more in your account. Do you understand that? So even if you put that much aside. So, but if you do that every month, going forward as you're employed, or even as you're starting a business, as you start doing that, I know people say, well, I have to put everything back in. No, you don't. You can do everything with 90% of your income. We know that. We have proven that over and over again since the Babylonian times. It's a fact. You don't need 100% to live on. 90 is plenty, okay? 90%. You can do pretty much anything. Does that mean you're going to buy things that you don't need or buy things that you want? Of course, as we say, like jokingly, like every fool must learn, as they say, right? It's okay. You're going to realize that some things are less important and some things are more important. Number one, what matters is what you tell yourself. What matters is what you tell yourself. Don't care what anybody else says. If you do it right, it doesn't matter. It's like when you walk into the room. Do you seek approval, everybody, to look at you because you have a new pair of shoes, boots, or new dress, or your new makeup? Okay, if that's your thing, great. But when you walk into the room and everybody kind of stops the conversation, just looks at it, and you're just walking confidently in, you have that little swagger about you that everybody says, what's different about this person? I can't put my finger on it. Because you're confident. You have a job, you're putting money aside. I'm telling you, you're literally you're ahead of the 95% of the population. That's how the wealth is created, not overnight. All my biggest accounts, I can tell you, a lot of them are first, and very few actually are second generation, but they inherited a little bit and actually they grew on top of that. A lot of them are first generation wealthy. But the problem is, you know what keeps them at night awake? My clients tell me. It's true. Even Dr. Thomas Stanley wrote about it in his book, Networking with the Affluent or Blue Collar Millionaire. It's a great book. I'll put a link in it. Please go and read it. It's a phenomenally good book. Mr. Stanley has passed away, but he has written some really amazing stuff. So it's just a simple thing. It's a statistic. Basically, the number one fear is actually, and even he said it, and I'm pretty sure he said it in the book, the number one fear is that grown-up kids will come back to live with them. You believe that? Yeah. That fear is because they feel like if they haven't succeeded, they can always have what do you call a parachute, a golden parachute, not in that terms, but they always have a place over their head to come back and live with mom and dad. The point is, of course, our door is always open for our daughter. She knows that. But the point is, we want her to go and experience and make her own mark on the world. A positive one, a good one, somebody that's going to make a difference by saving money and putting money aside. All that makes a difference. And when is the best time to do it? Well, pardon my French. When are you going to do it? Yesterday or tomorrow? No, do it now. Do it now. Stop the video, unsubscribe, and I don't care. I'm just telling you the truth. All the successful and super successful clients that I have told me one thing. They were never actually after the giant gains on the principal. Do you know what the number one concern was with the money? It's simple. For their principal to come back safely back to them. That's what they were concerned with. What is a business venture? Whether investing in a new manufacturing plant, what do you call buying new equipment, what do you call employing the right people? That's the key. I cannot stress you enough. And I learned this over and over again. And people say like, our customers are our most important thing in our business. No. If you're starting a business, and let me tell you something, and this is a fact, and you can confirm with the business owners around the world, the number one concern should be your employees, the people that you work with. They're the ones who represent your business. If you take care of them, they will take care of you and your business. That's how it works. There is no gimmicks. And then the clients, of course, or you can even put it next to them, but don't tell me it's just the clients. You got to take care of the people. If you're starting a business and who you trust, who you hire, is going to be such a huge difference. It's the same with your inner circle, the people that make you feel good about yourself, the people who actually encourage you, people who celebrate with you, people who cry with you, who lift you up when you're down. Those are the people that you want in your life. Not some, I hate to use the word influencer. I'm not a freaking, I'm nobody, okay? I'm not an influencer of any kind. I didn't even know how to do Instagram. I'm probably gonna have to call my daughter to set up my account for this, honestly. I don't know how to do it, okay? I admit. Or TikTok, I didn't even know what that is. Anyway, what I'm saying is like, stick with the people that have been with you the whole time. The ones that you love and that you love back. The ones that you trust and you trust back. The one that's positive about you and they're positive about them. But same goes for my business. Would you believe, and I discovered this after being a few years in a business, not at the beginning, I'm not that smart, okay? You know who my best clients are? My existing clients. That's right. So I decided to strengthen my relationship with my existing clients, and I can tell it's been a good thing. I get the referrals from the family. Their kids are my clients, their aunts, uncles, their wives, their brothers, sisters, their moms, fathers are my clients now as well. To me, obviously, tells me one thing: I'm doing something right, and I hope you continue to do so. Just remember, there is no one given formula how to succeed in life. There really isn't. Anybody tells you it's a giant horse, you know what? Find what are you good at. Find what you actually, as I said, the old saying says that you would do even if you didn't get paid for it. Fall in love with it. Be passionate about it. Be passionate about your friends. Be passionate about your love, person that you love, that you share your life with. That is what freaking matters, okay? Not what I tell you or somebody else tells you. You'll figure it out on your own, trust me, you will. But what is important to remember more than anything is that one step in front of the other. And remember, I always joke with my clients, they look at me, can you find it? I always look at the feet. It says, Mr. Smith, where are your feet pointing? Forward or backwards? I said, forward, great. How about your eyes? And pointing forward or backwards? Forward, okay. How about your nose? Forward. How about your mouth? Forward. So which way should we go, sir? Well, forward, I think. I get your point now, Miller. Forward. We should go forward, not backwards. And yes, there will be setbacks. And yes, there'll be heartbreaks. And yes, there'll be things that even I couldn't prepare you for. Even your investments, you might lose all of it. Start again. It's okay. The point is you learn something each time when you invest. Your financial wisdom starts with you, not with me. With you. You have to believe it. That is the right thing for you. And why wouldn't it be? Again, if you start doing it, do it quietly. Whose business is it? Yours. All I'm saying is, like, think about this. When you start investing, and if you think, especially if you're a younger person, in your 20s, maybe even 30s, a lot of people don't even think about investing. I can tell you that for a fact because I can have a whole channel just about that. Think of it this way. Who is more appealing? Let's say you're looking for a partner, I'm just saying. Who is more appealing? A person who doesn't ask for anything, is not even maybe interested in a relationship, maybe in a friendship, maybe something will grow from that. A person who is grounded, who has a job, who saves money, believe me, if you're a guy or if you're a girl, it doesn't matter. The other person will see that, I promise you. It's your whole body language. It's how you walk into the room, how you act when you're with other people. And for the young men especially, and I guess for the ladies as well, if you go on your first date and you have a phone on you, this is what I think. Snap out of it, okay? Leave the freaking phone. You're going to create a bigger impression on the person that you're meeting with. If you truly like somebody, why bring a phone to the meeting or to the date? Don't you think that she's the most important person you're looking at right now? Even if you're not comparable, I don't care. What I care about is, like, be focused while you're with her. Or same the other way around. If you're with him for the evening, put your phone away or just leave it. I tell you what, that'll be a great conversation starter. Imagine somebody comes and he or she puts the phone on the table and you have none of yours. Oh, I tried to text you just to make sure that you're gonna find the place. Well, I left my phone at home. Why? Because I wanted to be focused on us. How's that as an icebreaker? That will get his or her attention, wouldn't it? Tell me if I'm wrong. Leave it in the comments or don't. I don't care, but tell me if I'm wrong, please. Or if I'm right, try it. Go on a date with that, first time date especially. Because those are the impressions that we're going to, more impressed with your action than with you, whatever you say. Nobody cares that you have $1,000 shoes or $300 tie or $500 designer jeans. I don't care. Neither should you. What cares is the person is looking in the eye and having a conversation by listening to you. If you're talking and the person is listening without interrupting, to me, that's a good sign, okay? I don't know about you, just a little bit, but so that's how you create a circle of friends and people that you're going to be going with throughout your life. Keep the good friends around. Make them even better friends. I cannot stress that enough. Financially wise, same thing. Keep putting money aside. Start with now I'm going to ask you to buy 16 different freaking funds with the $500 aside that I talked about earlier. Put a $500 aside every month, and more importantly, choose one fund if you want, or maybe a couple, 50-50, and you can actually do that. If you have what you call, I don't know, I'm just mentioning big names because I know obviously Fidelity, Vanguard, or Charles Schwab if you have accounts. I haven't too. But the point I was trying to make is, like, when you put the money aside, you can allocate by percentages. So each time when the money goes in, let's say you put a 50% in this fund, 50% in that fund, it doesn't matter, let it be. You don't have to look at them every day. It's a market-based investment. So of course it's going to do this at the beginning. Maybe you'll do this. It's okay. What matters is this, that you put each month same amount or higher if you can. Percentage-wise, if your income increases, same works for the money that you put aside. 10% of 60,000, we know it's a 6,000 a year, right? 10% of 100,000, it's a 10,000 a year. Duh, it makes sense. 10% of 200,000 a year, it's $20,000. All I'm saying is, like, by doing this now, you're going to, I hate to use the word thank me later, but you're going to thank yourself later. Again, I'm nobody, I'm just talking from experience. So start planning your financial freedom now. Again, if you like the video, great. If you don't like the video, even better. And if you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, I don't care. I love you. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.